Hello, 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 and welcome to another live here on the Black Gay Comic Geek channel. I see people joining in on the stream already. Thank you guys for being here, and welcome to my Safe Gayven. You can see my lights are dying behind me. I'm like Loki in episode 3 where the TVA, the time pad battery died, and I need to jump. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me here on another live. I know the times keep changing week to week, but I appreciate you guys for being flexible with me. So as you can tell from the title of this episode, let me move my mic a little bit closer to me. We will be talking about episode 5 of Loki called Journey into Mystery. So as usual with these lives, this isn't just a conversation between me and my co-host Ron. This is a full discussion with you guys in the chat. So I need you in the chat, leaving your comments, what you thought about this episode, where this episode rank in terms of your favorites or least favorites, depending on, your reaction to it and everything like that. Let's get the discussion going. And also for those of you that are in the live chat that will be joining, and also if you happen to watch on the replay, if you could do me a favor and hit that like button, it'll really help with the YouTube algorithm and everything like that. So yeah, let's get this party started. I see people leaving comments. Hey, how you going? So yeah, as usual, as you know, I do not do these live streams alone. So coming on down to the Save, he's a gay in training. My co-host Ron from You Don't Read Comics.
Oh wow, gay in training. But if we're going like stereotypes, huh? Oh, I am?
Yeah, I can't hear you.
Bro, how you don't hear me?
Muted on StreamYard?
It is not. It is not. You hear me now?
Yeah, no, I still can't hear you.
Oh,
now I can hear you.
Now you hear me.
Yeah, now it's like hella loud. Hold up, maybe.
Okay. Is it you or is it me?
It definitely. Well, no, I just turned my volume down, so maybe it was me.
Oh, so.
But at least I can hear you. That's the important part. But yeah, so Ron, introduce yourself.
I was gonna say you said I was a gay in training, but I like dress better than you, so I'm already like ahead of you. Didn't know.
Wait a minute. That's a stereotype. There's no queer eye for the straight guy.
Okay, my bad. I thought it was since it was one of the positive stereotypes, it was cool. But I guess it's like an Asian thing. I shouldn't have did that.
My sister-in-law tried that on me too. She was like, "What good is it having a gay brother-in-law? You can't even help me decorate my apartment." I was like, "Girl," because she was like, "Do you think this matches with this?" I was like, "I don't fucking know." I'm like, "If you think it looks nice, it looks nice." But yeah. So introduce yourself.
I'm Ron from You Don't Read Comics, website that focuses on pretty much the pop culture that you like, all the comics that stuff comes from. I do reviews, I edit, I do a whole bunch of work. There's articles on my site every week. Check me out on Wednesdays, Thursdays. That's when new comic books come out. And you could just check me out on social media. Just Google You Don't Read Comics.
Yes. All his links for social media and everything like that is in the description box below. Had to text my mother real quick.
My mother.
My mother. But yeah, so guys, I'm like, do I accidentally text you because your phone vibrated?
Yeah. Like, what?
But yeah, guys, we're gonna be doing something a little different besides jumping straight into Loki episode 5, because right before we went live, maybe like an hour or a half hour ago, Marvel dropped a new trailer for their next property that will be coming out after Loki. They gave an official release date for it called Marvel's What If. It will be dropping on August 11th. So really like a couple, like what? Like that's like 3 weeks from, or no, that's like a month from now. So we're going to take a look at that trailer, react to it and everything like that in case you guys haven't seen it. And so yeah, let's jump in. Let's jump in it. I'm gonna have to turn the volume down a little bit because Marvel, they'll flag you if you
use too much of their stuff. Yeah,
use too much of that stuff, and it's too loud. So let me do that first. Make sure the volume's down. This will be my first time doing it, so hopefully it goes well and the stream don't get flagged.
They're gonna flag you.
I hope not. I hope not. They're already. But yeah, all right. Can you see it?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, can you hear it?
No, we don't want to hear it.
Well, you should be able to hear it a little bit.
Is this the old trailer though? Right? This is like the new one.
Oh wait, yeah, this the. All right, wait.
Yeah, look at you.
I'm prepared. Hold up. Wait a minute. All right, there we go. This is the new trailer.
I'm upset that wasn't Robert Downey Jr.'s voice.
Yeah, I thought it was supposed to be all of their voices. They were supposed to come back.
But I think he quit. So you know what I mean? But because some of the other characters, it was their voices. That was Michael B. Jordan. I definitely heard the guy that plays Thor. I heard his voice. I mean, you know, Chadwick Boseman. This is like his last role, really. I heard his voice.
But yeah, but let's let it play.
That scene right there was crazy. With the Guardians of the Galaxy kind of defending the Earth from Avengers 1. I think that would be a good one.
Howard the Duck. Yeah, Howard the Duck.
You saw Agent Carter. She was just riding like an Iron Man 1 suit. So I wonder who's in there. Is it Tony or is it his dad?
Probably not.
And I wonder if they're going to call her Captain Britain because she said, I'm Captain Carter.
Porsche Bowie, I know you said you can't hear because I got the volume low on purpose because if I turn it up too loud, the YouTube stream will get flagged and it'll get like a copyright strike. So I can't turn it up too loud.
You saw Marvel Zombies in there. And the T'Challa as Star-Lord is probably the one most people are excited the most for. Who did the Spider-Man look like to you? Did it look like Tom Holland to me?
No.
Did it look like Andrew Garfield to you?
It could be. It could be a tease.
Yeah. Yeah, it looked like Andrew Garfield to me.
There you go. August 11th.
Yeah, I'm a big Andrew Garfield Spider-Man fan. I know some people don't like those movies. I don't think they're great movies. I think he's great. So.
But yeah, so I know for those of you that if this was your first time seeing it, you can also go back and look at it in the stream. I know I apologize if the volume's kind of low, but like I said, I can't turn it up too loud because then this live stream will get cut.
Yeah.
And demonetized. So
yeah, you just put a link to the video if some people haven't seen it. You know, put a link to the video in the comments or something.
So yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that right now. Let me put it in there. I just closed it, so let me reopen.
I'm really interested in the Star-Lord T'Challa thing because the whole thing about the MCU Star-Lord at least is like he's kind of like an orphan. Are we getting like an orphan T'Challa, or does?
Yeah, I would assume so.
Or does Yondu come to Wakanda and just steal a baby? You know,
I think he. There we go. I put the link in the stream for those of you that would. So whether you're on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. There's the link for the full trailer. But as far as the Chadwick Boseman T'Challa thing, I think somehow, and they're gonna have to explain how. But I think Yondu just like rolled into Wakanda and like stole T'Challa without anybody knowing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Basically, almost the same thing that happened with Chris Pratt's Star-Lord, where he came like right when his mother was in the hospital. And took him, but yeah, they're gonna have to explain how they got into Wakanda.
Yeah,
and first of all, how they found Wakanda, and then how they just take T'Challa without anybody noticing. And then nobody from Wakanda, they didn't form an intergalactic empire to go after their kid. Like,
yeah. And then another thing, like the fact that we didn't hear Robert Downey Jr. voice in that What If, makes me concerned that we're not going to have him in
Ironheart.
Yeah.
Yeah, because part of it is probably because he might have wanted too much money to come back.
To do a voiceover though, bro, I understand who he is, but to do a voiceover to a company, I don't. You don't owe yourself to companies. You don't owe yourself to companies, but still,
he was only in like 20 minutes of Spider-Man: Homecoming, and he made more than Tom Holland.
Yeah, but he's worth more than Tom Holland for now. So, but it's a voice role, bro. He can literally do this from his home. Like on a computer, like we're talking right now, just voice it over.
I know he could, but again, I don't know. Like we don't know what the reasoning is, because I thought the whole allure of doing Marvel's What If is I thought that everybody from the MCU cast was going to come back and redo their voices.
It could be everybody but him, So
well, they did show Vision speaking, and it didn't sound like Paul Bettany either.
I don't know. Maybe they want to pay him enough either, because Paul Bettany's definitely still around promoting Marvel stuff.
I feel like the Paul Bettany thing might have been like a schedule. I don't know.
You can maybe schedule content because he's definitely still around promoting.
Because I do feel like he's more willing to come back.
Yeah,
for anything. But I'm still excited. I like the animation style for it, and I'm curious to see, like, even though so for those of you that don't know the premise of like Marvel's What If, let me explain it real quick. Basically, the premise it was a comic book series that took place in like the 80s.
It's still ongoing. Every once in a while they do a What If, but
it's not as prominent as it was back in the day. But basically, they would take stories from comics and basically like what if. So there's this character called the Watcher, and he oversees like the entire Marvel multiverse, and his whole thing is that he watches, but he can't interfere, except for when he does, like the Fantastic Four and things like that.
Yeah.
But so with it, they're taking the same concept and they're changing it to the MCU. So for example, in this show, Marvel's What If, they're saying, what if instead of Steve Rogers becoming the super soldier, becoming Captain America, Peggy Carter got the super soldier serum and she became Captain Britain. I don't know if
they're going to use that name though. I know they do have the rights to Captain Britain now, but I don't know if they're going to use that name.
I mean, maybe.
Yeah.
Because I mean, she's
a whole different other character.
It is a whole different character. But we also saw her. She didn't have the Captain America shield. She had the British.
Yeah. But they can still just call her Captain Carter the whole time, and
Yeah, I mean they could. I mean, because she did say call me Captain Carter. So maybe maybe they won't do it. But I feel like, because I doubt they're going to introduce Captain Britain in the MCU.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I'm like, just might as well do it. And then also with that, like we mentioned, we were talking about Black Panther. So it's like instead of Star-Lord Chris Pratt being taken by Yondu, it's what if the ship landed in Wakanda and they took T'Challa instead. Yeah. And then there's a bunch of other stories. I don't know how Marvel Zombies is going to come into play, but there's that with like Doctor Strange. Yeah. And then a whole bunch of other.
I assume Doctor Strange is going to open up a portal to the universe where the Marvel Zombies already exist by accident. And it's gonna spill over and start, getting people. Then there's the one with M'Jobu rescuing Tony Stark.
Killmonger rescues Tony Stark, and then I guess they form some type of friendship or alliance or whatever.
Which is not good, because that entire experience is what formed Tony Stark into being Iron Man and humbled him. So if that happened, he'd probably still be a warmonger and hanging out with Killmonger. It's like, you're definitely gonna get a different story out of that.
I mean, because I'm like, Tony Stark is still a problem regardless of what happened. Like every single thing that he did was because every villain, every moment.
He saved the universe, bro. I mean, I agree with you I agree with you all the way until Avengers Endgame.
And he might have saved the universe, but he's still a problem. He's still a problem. Even when he died.
That's the ultimate redemption.
Like, but even when he died, he still left a weapon of mass destruction to a minor. And then named it even in death, I'm still the hero. No, you're not. When you're giving a minor a weapon of mass destruction, like
the universe, bro. Everything you're talking about.
They could have gave somebody else could have saved the universe.
He should have gave it to Brody. Everybody knows that. But
because then we won't have Armor Wars.
Yeah.
Exactly. See, Manu, you hashtag Tony Stark is a problem. Just like Wanda got to go to jail. Tony Stark is a problem. I don't care if he saved the universe.
He's dead and he saved the universe. It's double.
You can still be dead and still be a problem.
Yeah, out of control.
Tony Stark, revive him back from the dead and send him to jail. But I mean, I'm excited for Marvel's What If. I'm curious to see if it's gonna actually tie into the greater MCU. Like maybe they pull like you mentioned, Andrew. Maybe is that an Andrew Garfield Spider-Man? Maybe they like pull them into the Spider-Man multiverse, whatever. Like basically, Phase 4 is really diving into this whole multiverse theory. Starting with WandaVision, they didn't really talk about it in Falcon and Winter Soldier, but now with Loki, we know Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness is coming. We know Spider-Man. What the fuck is Spider-Man?
No Way Home.
No Way Home. That's supposed to be dealing with the multiverse. Even though we still haven't seen a I'm thinking they're purposely waiting.
They pretty much confirmed it by accident with the toy line.
Yeah, not even just that, but they did announce. They already announced that Alfred Molina's coming to play Dr. Octopus. Jamie
and
Foxx
Doctor Strange is going to be in it. They have toys with Spider-Man using magic, or it could be opening up a dimension, but like there's like portals on Spider-Man's hands. Like I'm like, what the hell is that?
So I mean, so yeah, wasn't there like a Sorcerer Supreme Spider-Man in the comics at one point? I think. Yeah,
it was a little joke thing. Yeah.
But hold on, wait. Yes, Zillion Artist. That's not redemption for. I'm sorry.
Okay, so just everybody die and then punish him. Yeah, the whole universe, the whole universe to die, so we can punish this one guy.
He saved the universe, but he still need to go to jail. But
it's not how this works. People have been pardoned for way less.
Yeah, but sometimes that pardon, some people shouldn't be pardoned. Like, all right. but yeah. So, but I'm excited, and it's a little hold. I think it's only going to be 6 episodes. Marvel needs 6 episodes. They're not doing more than 6 episodes. But yeah, I think that's a full. It's going to hold us over to
6 episodes.
Huh? What'd you say? What'd you just say?
No, you said they're only 6 episodes of What If?
I think it's only 6 episodes.
That's ridiculous because it's animated. They could be able to do more. So
they can, but like I don't know why they keep diving into Falcon and Winter Soldier, Loki. Now What If, and I believe Miss Marvel 6 episodes, Hawkeye 6 episodes, and animation is cheaper, so they could do like 10, 12. But I don't know, whatever. But yeah, I'm excited. Comes out next month. So yeah, for those of you that are watching in the replay or the rechat or the chat or anything like that, like leave your thoughts of what you think about the episode What If and everything like that. Are you excited about it? Are you not excited about it? Do you not care? let me know. But yeah, let's jump right into actually, you know what, before we jump into episode 5 of Loki, let me acknowledge the people. Again, thank you so much for joining me and Iran on this live stream. I see we got 19 people. Well, now it just went up to 20 people joining on YouTube. I see we got people on Facebook. I see Facebook comments on here. So I just want to acknowledge Zillion Artists. I see you in the stream. Hey, Nerese21, welcome, gang. Al finally made it to a live stream.
Ali, maybe short for Alejandro.
Could be Ali. Finally made it to a live. Woohoo! Excited to hear your thoughts. Well, thank you for joining me. Who else we got here? We got Portia Bowie on Facebook. Thank you so much.
She said she can't hear.
Yeah, well, she was talking about the live stream.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Ronnie reviews. Yo, Ron.
Ronan.
Oh, Ronan. Well, I say I can't read.
You can't, bro. Oh, what's up?
But yeah, thanks for joining. Who else we got in here? We got Damian Yelverton on Facebook. I might be wilding, but if you look at the timekeeper face behind the judge's desk in the TVA's courtroom, it looks a hell of a lot like Jonathan Make. Well, yeah, we mentioned we mentioned that a couple times. Like that's a black nose.
Yeah,
that nose belongs to a word that I'm not going to use because the stream's going to get demonetized. But yeah, that's definitely. That's definitely a black nose.
Yeah, it's an African descendant person's nose.
Yeah, it's definitely a person from the jungle bunny, a darky, which only we can say. Anybody white, y'all better not come in here with that mess. But I also see we got Marilyn G. Hey Ron, hey Michael. Thank you guys for joining us, and for all you guys that haven't left comment, leave some comments. I want to hear from you, especially if I haven't heard from you before. So yeah, thanks for joining me in the stream. Yes, it's, as Bay would say, a Jackson 5 knows. Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah. Yes. So let's get into it. Episode 5 discussion of Journey into Mystery. And yes, like it says at the chyron at the bottom, guys, we will be talking full on spoilers for episode 5. So yeah, Ron, I kind of know what you thought about this episode, but let's let the people on the stream know. What did you think about this episode of Loki?
You ever, like, for you guys that smoke, I'm gonna get pissed at some for talking like this. You're expecting some fire, and it's just like, some mid, some Reggie. That's what this was. It wasn't a terrible episode, but it left a lot to be desired, and it was like a lot of stuff that we could have got squeezed into like 5 minutes in another episode. The same thing. It's almost how I felt about episode 3, but better than episode 3. It's not as bad as episode 3.
Oh, way better than episode 3.
Way better than episode 3, but yeah, it's still not that great.
See, what I thought about this episode, like, I didn't dislike this episode. If you take this episode in a vacuum, I would say that I did enjoy this episode for the most part, because this episode had a shit ton of Easter eggs.
Yeah, if this episode was episode 2, it'd be great. But to be the episode before the finale,
yeah, that's basically how I felt about this episode. Like, and in terms of like comic booky, like the comic book nature of this episode, I feel like this was like the most comic book thing that we've seen in like the MCU. We've seen so many Easter eggs, so many, like, it was just completely outlandish. And it did feel like it came from a comic book. But yeah, like you said, considering this is the penultimate episode, this is the episode before. We only got 1 episode left. There's only 1 more week, and this show is done. We don't know if there's going to be a season 2 or if it's a one and done. We don't know. But considering there's only 1 episode left, and more than likely that episode is not going to be longer than like 45 minutes or whatever, I still have a bunch of questions that have been left unanswered. When you think of a penultimate episode of a...
It wasn't even no post-credit scene, dog. Like,
that's the thing. Like, when you think of a penultimate episode of a show, like, they throw everything at you because everything's supposed to happen in the final episode, because the final episode, that's when things have to wrap and you get all your answers, and then they have to defeat the villain or whatever. They answer your question, then you get the climax, and then that's when you get the fall in action. I feel like we still haven't even gotten to the climax yet. Like, we still don't know anything about Sylvie's backstory. We still don't know why she's a variant. We still don't know anything about her life. Like, did she have an Odin? Did she have a Thor? We're learning about all these other variants of Lokis. We still don't know anything about Sylvie, and we still don't even really know who's behind the curtain of it all. And I kind of feel like at this point, being that it's the final episode, I kind of don't think we're gonna get a Kang. But at the same time, I would be very upset if this show ends and there's not a T. Like,
I think this, like you said, is going to leave us with more questions than answers, and it's going to be worse than WandaVision, I think, like, because we went this far and we still know nothing. I think they think leaving us with questions is going to make us run to the movie theaters faster, but, like, we're going to go see the movies regardless. You don't got to do this. You don't got to do this. I have a really big problem with the fact that everybody's so surprised that Sylvie is a woman Loki. You got a whole alligator Loki, and, like, it seems like the other Lokis are like, oh, a woman Loki? Like, come on, bro. Like, you got an alligator.
Yeah,
they had the trolls in the clips before, like the goblin Lokis and all that other stuff. Like, and it's just so weird that Sylvie is so abnormal to them.
It's funny that you mentioned that, because I got that in my notes right here. Like, I thought that whole, like, that line, I thought that was trash. When it was just like, when Loki was just like, have you ever seen a female version of us? And they're like, what? That's terrifying. I'm like, Loki's supposed to be gender fluid. You mean it? And we've seen like at least 20 different versions of Loki. You mean to tell me not one of them has switched their gender presentation in this? We don't know how long they've been in this void. We could just say hundreds or thousands of years, because I'm pretty sure time doesn't really run like it does in reality. So they've been in this void for who knows how long, and none of them have presented as female. Like,
yeah,
then what was the whole point of Marvel going, that whole tease that they released? Where they showed Loki's like TVA jail profile and it says sex fluid. What was the point of that? If you're not even gonna, even amongst all these different variants, you're not even going to do it. Like, I feel like they don't even know what the definition of gender fluid is, because even like Sylvie, is she like, was she once a boy? Is that her variant? Like, she was once a boy and turned herself into a girl? Like it seems like that's not the case. It seems like she was just born. I don't know, because I feel like if she was born a girl, like why did they take her at the moment that she was playing with the dolls?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I guess they can still do it, but like it seems like
we've been expecting them to do it for like 3 episodes now. So if they don't do it in the last episode, I'm not surprised. I'm still upset, but I'm not surprised. They're scared.
But yeah, pretty much, Nari's like the creator said, pride is over. Ain't no gender fluid over here. And, yeah, and that's true. Like it's the same problem I also have with this whole like, because I also got this in my notes too. Like, are they trying to play with the whole thing with Loki and Sylvie being in love with each other? Because it kind of seems like it is.
Yeah, like the last episode, not today, this week, but the last episode, it didn't seem like she was like that much into him.
No, yeah, it seemed like it was more Tom Hiddleston's Loki than her. But this episode, no, it seemed like she pruned herself for him. She was like, the only time I was ever happy is when I was with him.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, they're kind of playing with the whole that they love each other and things like that. And I don't have a problem with it on face value. I mean, we mentioned this before, like self-love is sometimes the best love. Like if they were to have sex, like, is it masturbation? Like, I think 100%. So. I think so. But at the same time, the reason I have a problem with it, and it's the whole reason I put myself on the internet, because I come at it from a different perspective than a lot of other people, because I heard nobody else talking about this thing. But my whole problem with it is they make a big deal about, people on the internet, they're releasing headlines. Oh, and the Marvel has their first major canonically queer character in Loki. Mm-hmm. And they make this big statement. The showrunner makes a tweet about it, like, "Oh, I'm so proud of this moment." Yada yada yada. They make this big stink about Loki being bisexual, but yet, the director comes out or the showrunner comes out, Kay Herron comes out and says, "That was a one-off. That was a one-off line. We're not going to talk about it ever or show it ever again. It was just a thing that happened in episode 3." And then on top of that, you have Loki falling in love with a female version of himself. And yes, I get you can be bisexual and still fall in love with the opposite sex. That's the whole point of being bisexual. It can still be queer if you're in love with the opposite sex. I get that. But at the same time, how many heteronormative stories have we've seen it? I've seen it before. Like the Shansai Anderson song, heard it all before.
Yeah, and if it's just Loki falling in love with Loki and he's gender fluid, there was a whole bunch of Lokis this episode. I didn't see him show any attraction to them.
No. Or even any interest. It was just like these people, like who cares about? Like these people are crazy.
Yeah, but she tried to kill him, and she's not crazy.
Yeah. So, but he actually tried to get to know. Like, if obviously all what a through line that we learn is all the Lokis are pretty much the same. They're not all really villains. Mm-hmm. So you just have to figure out your way in. So, like, obviously. Like, because he got to become friends with Kid Loki and Classic Loki, and then kind of boastful Loki at the same. But a part of me was like, why the black guy got to be the Judas? But we all know. And did he die?
Nah, I don't think he died. They were all just fighting each other. I think the President Loki probably got the worst of everything, which I thought would wind up being Tom Hiddleston, but it wasn't. Well, it was Tom Hiddleston, but it wasn't our Loki.
Yeah, I mean, and Zelia, I would have rather Loki and Mobius kiss, or I'm like, even during that conversation, I mentioned this before, like, how better would it have been in episode 3 instead of them having a conversation? Oh yeah, I had love interests of men and women. Like when Loki got drunk, we saw him kiss a man and a woman, and then there was a conversation about it. Like how much better would that have been? I would even granted it's like the most minor of. The bare minimum, but I would have at least appreciated that even more than just a passing one-off reference.
Yeah.
But yeah, I forgot what I was about to say. Yeah. What was this? Mike, did you see the post today that Eternals Love and Thunder today about how they are bringing more LGBTQIA stories? I started laughing. I didn't see any posts today about it, but I'm looking at Eternals with the screw face because they're making this whole big deal about one of the Eternals being gay and him having a husband, and I'm just like,
yeah, they're not gonna give you what you want.
And it's not even like I want a whole. Like, it's not even like I want some porn. Like I want to see.
You just want the representation.
Yeah, I can go to like gaymailtube.com if I want freaking gay porn. It's not that. It's that you want. Yeah, you want the representation because representation equals normalization. Like you think about the whole controversy with Lil Nas X. And him kissing a man, and I've talked about this before, but everybody, This somebody's first time, on a live stream. So everybody's first live stream is the first live stream. So maybe they never heard me talk about it before. But like part of like the whole controversy, like Lil Nas X, the reason there's this whole controversy is because you don't really see, especially when it comes to like black gay men, you don't really see like the visual representation of same-sex kissing. Like it seems to be more acceptable because it appeals to the whole male gaze, G-A-Z-E, not G-A-Y-S, but the whole male gaze aspect of, two women, that's hot. So it seems that's more acceptable. So like when Madonna kisses Britney Spears at the VMAs, there's no controversy. Katy Perry can release a whole ass song talking about I kissed the girl and I liked it, and there's no outrage. But let like Jay-Z, for example, make a song like I kissed the and I liked it. Outrage. Like, but think about the whole idea. Like gay marriage is now considered, like if you do a poll, it's now 70% approval rating. It's because it's now normalized. It's become normalized. It's part of society. It's legal. So again, representation equals normalization. So constantly seeing it on your screen and in your face makes it normal. And for the most part, when it comes to specifically male queer representation, we're pretty much in a desert right now. Like you don't really see it that much, especially when it comes to sci-fi fantasy properties. So trash is really all I got to say. Agreed. And like even like Kelly Demos, she said baby steps. I'll take it. I think they know we won't accept them straight washing Wicked and Hulkling and other young Avengers and are testing the waters for the future. See, my whole. But
is this even baby steps? I think Falcon and Winter Soldier was baby steps, and I'll take that. This is like, I mean, it's like I got a black friend kind of, you know what I mean? Or like, there's gay people here. There's representation here. I'll just tell you that they are, but I won't show you anything.
Yeah, I don't even think it's baby steps.
That's what I'm saying.
Like even with Falcon and Winter Soldier, they backtracked it. Like they did the tiger photos with Bucky, and then they were like, "Oh no, that was nothing. That was." Just, but it's like you knew what you were doing. You knew exactly what you were doing. Like because the whole controversy on the internet was like men taking pictures with tiger photos on Tinder. So why even reference that if you're not even going to say Bucky was bi?
I have no idea what you're talking about, by the way.
But so in episode 1 of Falcon and Winter Soldier, Bucky was talking about he was on dating apps and he was like, oh, it's a bunch of weird pictures, and she was like, and the Asian girl that he was on a date with, and she was like, what tiger photos? What do you or what photos? He was like tiger photos, and that was that was a reference to. So basically, on Tinder a couple years ago, they banned men from taking a whole bunch of pictures with like they were taking pictures like wild tigers and things like that. It was specifically men. And so they banned men from doing that on Tinder. And so Bucky's talking about he's seeing a bunch of tiger photos on Tinder. Obviously, what does that mean? He's seeing men's profiles.
Oh. Okay.
So it's like, why even reference that if you're not even going to talk about Bucky? Why was Bucky looking at men's profiles on Tinder? Because on Tinder, you could pick men or women or both.
Yeah. So
yeah, like I don't know. Like, but yeah, but even with like Wicked and Hulkling, my whole fear is they're just going to keep Billy as a kid, so they can they don't even have to go into it because he's a kid. So yeah, that's my whole thing. But what is it? Can we stop calling everything bigots? Don't like controversy. Screw those people. We are the majority. I'm not sure what that's referencing. But yeah, like. I don't know, but that's my whole thing with that. But yeah, let's get more into the episode of Loki. So yeah, the episode opened, and I will say about this episode, like the music was pretty damn good in this episode. Like the score, like even like the opening music and everything like that. Like I thought it was pretty dope. And so then once the episode opens, you see Loki, as we saw from the post-credit scene, he wakes up. We see with the other Lokis, and then you see Eliath in the background.
Yeah. And
Eliath is a character I had to look him up. I didn't really know anything about Eliath before this episode, but let me pull up the screenshot real quick. I didn't really get any pictures ready for this. Eliath
pretty much eats stuff.
But yeah, this is
Yeah.
But yeah, this is Eliath. Alioth. But yeah, basically, and again, going back to what I was saying about like, if this show does not end with like a Kang the Conqueror tease, I'll be pretty upset because Alioth is directly tied to Kang the Conqueror. Like in looking him up, like Alioth is Kang the Conqueror, like one of his biggest
rivals when it comes to like owning the timescape.
Yeah. So hold up, let me pull up the thing real quick so I can show you guys. But on Marvel Wiki, it says that right here you can see. But yeah, this is what Alioth looks like in the comics right here. But yeah, it says Alioth is the first being who broke free from the constraints of time. His empire is larger than that of Kang himself, stretching billions of years to before the rise of man on Earth. His domain is approximately X2 and X3 as large, 2 times or 3 times as large as Kang's temporal empire. It is because of Alioth that Kang never attempted to expand his empire vertically into more distant time eras, and therefore extends as far back as 2000 BC. Kang created a barrier which could go to maybe that's what that barrier was at the end that you saw when they finally got past Alioth. But Kang created a barrier, prevented Alioth from entering his domain. After Kang was left on the brink of death, Ravonna assumed his identity and took over his empire. While investigating errors earlier in time, she accidentally released Alioth, who then threatened Kang's former domain and all over the temporal dominions further into the time stream. Blah, 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 blah. So yeah, basically.
That sounds like they could just run with that whole thing.
So yeah, basically, obviously they changed it. They changed it up a little bit. But yeah, Alioth is a big rival to Kang the Conqueror. But in this, they made him like more like his pet. But either way, it's still connected to Kang. So I'm just like, yeah. Even if you don't like show him, like he doesn't walk up. Like
show me a purple glove or something.
Yeah, if I don't see a silhouette, like if I don't see a big ass black nose covered in blue makeup by the end, and like he maybe says one word or something like that, yeah, I'm gonna be mad. Like a post credit scene at the end, yeah, I'm gonna be mad. So. Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, what did you think about? Did you know? I'm sure you probably did, but did you know a lot about Alioth?
Yeah,
did you read a lot about?
I know a little bit, not a lot, but it's like a lot of stuff in this episode, like Ravonna, we still don't know what she's really doing. Like she buttered up, which I had a problem with that too. Her buttering up Sylvie at the beginning of the episode because like Sylvie's a Loki, why would she be so trusting? It was just like really weird. And then it's like, how much does she know? Like. Does she really like hide information? Is she really in the dark, or does she know everything? And like, is the story much more like her holding it down for Kang while he's doing something else?
But I mean, I'm thinking based on the conversation, I don't think she was lying. I don't think she knew that the timekeepers were fake, and I think she wants to get behind the whole. Even though I kind of
said that, but she said that to get the drop on Sylvie. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, but then based on what we know, like when she went to go speak to Hunter B-15, she was questioning her because she and then she called Miss Menace. I'm like, Miss Menace is behind the whole thing, like because even in that next scene where you saw Sylvie right after we saw Alioth, we saw Sylvie and Ravonna talking. Like Miss Menace knew to stall without her like really
exactly. Miss Menace is not like a regular computer. She's like at least an AI. Like she has her own intelligence. Like
yeah. So and Loki, and she kind of teased that in like the episode. She was like, I'm a little bit of both.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, she knew to and I agree with that. Yeah, Miss Menace is sus as fuck. Like
she made up a whole story about a time ship. Like
yeah, like what she called it? I don't remember what she called it, but yeah, like a whole ass story, which Ravonna went along with. It was like, the void ship. So like she's definitely she's not Siri.
Yeah.
And funny enough, like I wouldn't be mad if it turns out Miss Minutes was behind the whole thing. Even though I still want to Kang the Conqueror tease. But if it turns out Miss Minutes created, even though I still have questions, like how did this AI come to be or whatever?
I don't know. They all call Minutemen, so Miss Minutes could be at the top.
Yeah, I mean she could be, but I still would like to know. Like, I would like to get more on Miss Minutes, and I did wish we saw more of her throughout.
I mean, it is Tara Strong, so
yeah, that's what I was saying. I wish we got to see more of her throughout the show, because what is this, like only the third time we've seen her?
Yeah, she pops up like every other episode, I think.
But yeah, I don't think Ravonna knows, and part of me would kind of be a little disappointed in that because of the whole thing of like her being Kang's girlfriend. I would like it better if like she was manipulating the whole thing, like
I think she is,
and her and Kang are working together. But I don't necessarily think she is, because why go to B-15 to try to figure out? And then she had that conversation with Miss Minutes towards the end where she was like, find out who created this whole thing. Like, give me all the files, because whoever's behind all of this, they're in great danger. If she knew, if she knew, there wouldn't have been that line. So yeah, I don't think
maybe she knows a little bit, not everything. You know, knowledge is power. You tell people like a little bit, enough for you to, but there's more. There's a bigger picture. You know what I mean?
Nah, I think she's just.
She got to know who Kang is because she's fucking him.
Maybe she might not know yet. Maybe she finds out, and then she's like, "Oh, you're behind this whole thing," like, because she's definitely drinking the Kool-Aid. Like she's like the Black Republicans.
Yeah, you light skin too.
Yeah, where you just like, bro, what are you doing? They don't like you, like, and I love like Hunter B-15's reaction. She came to her, she was like, "You're being disloyal to the TVA." She was like. This like she went full like a black mama when she's like, well, you're like, I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. She just looked at you. She's like disloyal to who? Speaking of which, my mother's calling me right now. What are you doing? I can't talk.
Yeah, it was really black. She was like, you talk about working for the man, pretty much.
Yeah, and I like that whole interaction between the two of them. I do wish we got to see more.
You keep saying that.
A B-15, but yeah, we're not.
Yeah,
but yeah, I like that react. But it does show that like, like Gary Ford, she's definitely a Black Republican. Yeah, she's going full Candace. She's going full Candace Owens. Like she found out the truth.
I wouldn't say that. Candace Owens is the worst. She's bad. She's not for Candace Owens. Yeah, Candace Owens is the worst.
I get that to you, but she's definitely drinking. She found out the truth, and she don't care because she's drunk. I feel like she's drunk on the power. Like,
was she just sticking by her man? Was that TikTok real?
Well, yeah. What was that? This your man? Yeah,
exactly.
It is. I'm sticking by him.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think she knows. But what is it? I have a question though. Could Ravonna be a variant, and there's another Ravonna already with Kang now?
Possibly. Oh, maybe Kang has like 10 Ravonnas.
Yeah, that could possibly be it. Originally, I would have said no, that Ravonna isn't a variant. I would have said that before episode 4. I would have said that she knew. I feel like she knew everything. But then when you got to that flashback where you saw her grab Sylvie. She was once a Minuteman, and somebody else was once in her position. So she basically got promoted into that position. So I think because of that, I think she is a variant where I would have.
But she also, like, when Sylvie and her were first fighting, before she tried to stall her, she told her to prune her. As if I'm thinking, like, maybe if she got pruned, she could actually get away. Like maybe Kang or some other force would like pull her away, like she wouldn't get absorbed by Goliath. Or she knows that void space pretty well.
I mean, maybe I will say she definitely knows a lot more than she's leading up. Because even with that, like, how does she even know that when you're pruned, you're not actually dead?
She definitely knows. Yeah.
So, but I don't. But my whole thing is,
I don't know if
she knows about Kang. That's my thing.
And then when Sylvie pruned herself, and Nola Minuteman was like, "Okay, so we're good, right?" She was like, "Oh yeah." She clearly knew that Sylvie's not dead. You know.
Well, yeah, because she told Sylvie that when you're pruned, you basically go to, I would say for the last.
Yeah, but I'm saying she kept the Minuteman in the dark about that.
She did, because even B-15 and Mobius, they would like, no, they need to know, because they need to know the truth, and she doesn't want them to know the truth because she's drinking that Kool-Aid.
Was it 120 or whatever? So they didn't prune her. They must have like killed her, like shanked her. You know what I mean?
You know, I definitely think B-15 is still alive.
No, not B-15, the 20.
C-20?
Yeah. They shanked her. She's dead. Not pruned, but dead.
Or I mean, she could have been pruned and then she's just dead. Like she didn't survive Alioth.
Okay, possibly. Also, like when the episode first started, I didn't know how the void was going to work. I thought that Loki went to like the realm of prune Lokis, and Mobius was going to wind up around a bunch of prune Mobiuses. Like
that's what I thought too. Like
yeah, and then so that makes it so out of all the variants to get pruned from every universe, from every multiverse, the most surviving form of variant is Loki.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I guess it makes sense for what we've seen with Loki throughout the MCU, where, like, at the end of the day, like, Loki, no matter how or what form, Loki's going to survive.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but it also kind of makes it go, like, okay, then, like, granted, I love Mobius. I'm glad he's still alive, but I'm like, how's Mobius still alive? Like,
exactly. Out of all the, like, only Loki variants seem to survive. Like, where's my Thor variants? Where's my fucking Hulk variants? They all died. They were like,
or they mentioned like they caught vampires, Eternals,
exactly.
Kree. You mean to tell me none of them survived? We saw
only Loki survives.
We saw hold up right here, like when Loki was running from what you call it, Alioth with all the other variant of Lokis. We saw a Thanos copter right here.
Yeah,
which is a reference to the comics when
which means a whole Thanos got.
So yeah, there was a Thanos that got pruned as well. So you mean to tell me he couldn't survive?
Exactly.
So yeah,
so Kid Loki, alligator Loki,
wrong.
All these different kinds of Lokis can survive.
But yeah, wrong picture. But where's the Thanos copter from the comics? Here we go. So yeah, referencing when Thanos had a helicopter, which I'm like, why? This is you can definitely tell this is like 80s comics. Like
and that wasn't canon Thanos. That was like another story, like I don't want to say Elseworlds because that's on DC, but it was a different Earth Thanos. That's not 616 Thanos with the Thanos copter.
No, but still, like the fact that Thanos still got pruned and like even he can't.
Yeah.
He couldn't come up with a thing to survive Alioth. Or like I'm pretty sure there was like Odin variant. I mean, and then
that's what I'm saying.
And then also with that, like, yeah, we seen another Easter egg because you mentioned like in the whole thing, we saw this right here. There's a Mjolnir right here. So obviously a Thor got pruned. So yeah, none of them survived during this whole moment. I mean, I don't know, but I would have liked to have seen different versions of like Mobius's and
different characters. Like remember they were teasing I don't know, the articles were coming out with different versions of different characters. Like I said, like what's this guy's name? The guy from Mission Impossible.
Tom Cruise. But yeah, I thought that was for Doctor Strange.
Yeah, but that would have been cool for this too, just to like see random movie stars pop up and them getting pruned in costumes. That'd have been cool.
Yeah, that would have been cool. Like we even saw, and I would like to have seen more from them, but it caught me off guard. We even saw like for another Easter egg, we saw Throg.
Yeah, I talked about Throg last episode.
Yeah, in the jar. If you guys can't see, like there's a little frog right here in this jar, which I guess is what does it say? T365. I guess that's his variant number or whatever. But yeah, that's a reference to Throg. Like in the comics, there's another. It's not Thor, but it's a version of a Thor. This guy right here, Walt something or Simonson something like
Walter
that.
Simon. Yeah, Simonson Walterson.
Yeah, because
they said his name is a spoof on Walt Simonson.
Walt Simonson. Yeah,
who created Thor.
So yeah, there's a man that ends up being turned into a frog by a witch. And he gets his own version of Mjolnir called Frognir, and he becomes Throg. Basically, all the powers of Thor, but proportional to the size of a frog. Which I'm assuming
still pretty strong.
Which is still pretty strong. Like he could take out a human. He gave Donald Blake some work in the comics, but that's a whole nother conversation for people that might not know about. But yeah, I would like to, but just the fact that he even referenced Throg.
Yeah, like I said, we talked last time. I was like, Alligator Loki has to be like a Throg villain or something like that. Even though it's not canon in the comics, like, but that's why I can see him.
Yeah, they never mentioned his Loki, but yeah, we did see we did get to see Alligator Loki. I got that picture too, and I like Alligator. I like Alligator Loki. There you go, Alligator Loki right here, chilling in his little weighted pool. and another version of Loki, which is not something that we've seen in the comics. But yeah, like I found it. Like going back to what you said. Yeah, I find it just weird that like they accept the alligator Loki, but seeing a female Loki is just like,
yeah, it's out of the realm of possibilities.
But Gary, we talked about this earlier. Is this going to have a direct connection? Maybe not a direct connection, but I think this show was going to, hopefully, I feel like this show was going to end with like the multiverse like spiraling out of control or whatever, which would make sense to go tie into like Doctor Strange and everything, and even What If. It would make sense to explain all these different stories. But speaking of that, real quick, I have a question. Because I'm like, I feel like they really need to explain this, and I'm hoping that they do in like Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. But where the hell is Doctor Strange in all this?
I've been saying this forever, bro. Ever since WandaVision.
Ever since WandaVision. You got Wanda creating a whole reality, taking over a whole town using magic. She's the Scarlet Witch to the point that the magic reverberated across the world that that Agatha Harkness sensed it. You mean to tell me not even just Doctor Strange, but there's a whole bunch of sorcerers.
Baron Mordo.
A whole bunch of Sanctum Sanctorum. Yeah, Baron Mordo. His whole thing was getting rid of sorcerers. You don't think he should
chaos and stuff like that?
Yeah. You don't think he should have rolled up in Westview?
To pop up. That was my theory, that he was going to pop up at the end of WandaVision. But
that's what I thought too when they talked about a whole big cameo. I thought it was going to be Baron Mordo.
Yeah.
But not even just that, but like Doctor Strange, his whole thing was protecting reality. He has the time stone. Granted, he doesn't have it anymore, but his whole thing is protecting time and the multiverse and everything like that. You don't think he should have been working with the TVA? Or I don't know. I'm just like, this whole thing, I'm just like, they really gonna need to explain where Doctor Strange is, because right now he need to be fired.
Maybe he's getting the stones back.
I don't know.
I think you're the one who told me that the stones were destroyed by shrinking them, right? Like
Thanos said in Endgame that he can't actually destroy them, because remember what the Ancient One said: if you destroy the stones, it destroys the reality. So he just turned them into like the size of atoms. So basically, like Ant-Man could shrink down and like get the stones if he wanted to.
Yeah, but that's difficult being in that form anyway. That small is dangerous in itself. So.
Yeah, it's dangerous, but I mean, he figured out a way to work it with going into the quantum realm and time travel and things like that. But yeah, like they're really gonna have to explain where Doctor Strange was. But hold on, real quick, the Living Tribunal didn't survive. I don't think that was the Living Tribunal that we saw in this episode. I think it was just a statue of the Living Tribunal. I don't think it was actually it. But what is this? Maybe Ravonna is not willing to drop everything she believes in without more information. The TVA is trash, but they may actually be preventing some terrible event. We don't know. I mean, yeah, that is true.
I thought that at first, but then when she said that, at the end of time, there's nothing. It's still being developed. What is the TVA really doing? There's clearly multiple streams of time, multiple multiverses still happening in the future. If everything had happened at the end of time, if everything was settled, like there was a beginning and an end, then there would be a perfect timeline. But there isn't. Like they're making a timeline in a way that somebody decides it should be.
But not even just that. It's not that I'm expecting her to just drop everything, but I feel like she should be questioning things a little bit more, because if it's revealed like everything that she knew was a lie, like the timekeepers aren't real, the fact that I'm assuming she already knew that they were variants, but like it just seems like things are not everything that she believed. You would think that she would just be questioning things more, as opposed to just like, oh no, I'm still trying to maintain all the order. I'm still trying to do what these fake time, like when she
maybe that's just trauma from being born in the system and being there so long, going from the bottom all the way up, I
mean, people process trauma differently. But again, there's only one episode left. We don't have any time.
We don't have any time to dig into her trauma.
Yeah. So it's like, if this was like, and this is the thing, like if this was episode like 5 out of 10, I would have enjoyed it way more. But like,
because it's ending. That next episode, it's like, what the hell are you gonna do next episode?
Yeah, like how much?
It's just like WandaVision. Like
WandaVision. I feel like it's not going to wrap everything up neatly. I'm still going to have questions, and that's the problem. Like this is the third Marvel show, and what's been consistent in these shows is they're too short. Even WandaVision that had 9 episodes, but every episode was like 23 minutes or whatever.
Mm-hmm. So it might as well have been
so it might as well have been 6 episodes.
Yeah.
So they're too short, and then like they don't wrap themselves up well. Like I feel like they start off very strong. Mm-hmm. Like I feel like Loki had the strongest start out of out of the 3 shows, but they like peter off towards the end.
Yeah. I think the reason WandaVision might have been 20 minutes is because they wouldn't do a sitcom format.
Yeah, that's true, but I feel like so that makes sense for like the first 3 episodes, but then once they got out of that, I feel like the episode should have been should have been longer.
Yeah.
Especially remember those rumors like the last 3 episodes are going to be an hour each.
Yeah, yeah.
And Mephisto, I'm hoping that's not because like I feel like Kang the Conqueror might be the Mephisto of this show, which I'm hoping not.
No, bro, it has to be Kang. Like if it's not, it's just like fuck you.
That's how I feel. Like if it's not Kang the Conqueror, I'm like, what was the point of this show? Because even with that, like even with the Kang the Conqueror, I kind of feel like what's the point of this show? Like this show is called Loki, not TVA. Mm-hmm. Like how much about Loki have we really learned that we didn't really already know?
Yeah, we just learned that there's a power above, in the way time moves. I mean, is this just a commercial for Kang? A commercial for Ant-Man? A commercial for Multiverse of Madness? Like, are the shows just commercials? Is everything we're seeing on Disney Plus Iron Man 2?
That's what it's feeling like. I done made a live chat. Welcome, Yo Raheem. Thank you for making it to the chat. But yeah, that's what I'm starting to feel like because I know you haven't seen Black Widow yet, and there's no spoilers here. But I do kind of feel like Black Widow, the movie Black Widow it had nothing to do with Scarlett Johansson. It was mostly just setting up Yelena Belova as the new Black Widow. That was the whole point of this movie. And I kind of feel like the same thing with this show. Like I feel like this show it's just really to set up Sylvie as like the new Loki.
We might see Sylvie in Multiverse of Madness instead of Loki.
Yeah, which to me I don't like. I like Sylvie, but if she's the Loki going forward, I won't like that only because like what connection does she have to like Thor and Odin and she has none. It'll be like, who are you? And so it got to be this whole introduction. Like, does she even have her own? Does she even have a Thor? We don't know because we still don't know anything about her character. There's only 1 episode left.
Man, this show started off so strong though.
It did. Like I was like, oh, this is gonna be the best. It's gonna be the best. But Gary, I'm trying to get together a live probably on Monday with Ron, Frankie, and James.
Frankie booked.
Yeah. I mean, she said right now she might be free. So we'll see. But I'm trying to get us all together on Monday. What is that? The 12th to do a spoiler-filled review for Black Widow. So we'll see.
I'm surprised she hung out with me the other day. She'd be so booked. Like
I'm throwing that out there in the ether. I know Frankie's not in the chat, but I'm throwing that out there that hopefully it put some energy in the universe. So we'll see if we can get that happening. But yeah, Frankie stay booked, Facebook.
Yeah.
Every time I be trying to hit Frankie up, like, hey, you available to come join us on the live this week?
Nah, I got a trip.
Yeah, I'm traveling to Puerto Rico this week. Or I'm going to be on somebody else's stream. Or I'm like, dang, I got to do like a year. I got to do like a year in advance to get Frankie. But I'm trying to get like her. Like, I mean, let me be booked.
Do it, man. You put in the work. You should be.
Hashtag booked and blessed.
Yeah, you should be.
But I'm here. Hey, Jessica. Thanks. Hey, Ron. Hey, Michael. Thanks for joining. And yeah, all of you guys, thank you for joining. I see we got 32 people in the live stream on Facebook. If you do me a favor, if you can hit that like button and to help with the YouTube algorithm and things like that. So yeah, I appreciate all of you guys and gals and everything in between, non-binary, trans, whatever you are. We're all inclusive here in the Safe Gayven. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining the stream. But yeah, if you guys can do me a favor, hit up Frankie, fanboy fighter, be like, Frankie, why you holding out on Michael and Ron on these live streams? But yeah, she went live yesterday with Sharonda from Pay a Rate.
Yeah, I didn't know who that was. Like, I actually have seen some of her reviews before, and then I saw Frankie with her. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, I didn't even know like about her. It's funny because I like watched her video and then I saw her with Frankie. So I was like, oh, yeah,
I've always been a fan.
Small world.
I've been a fan of Sharonda for like I watched a lot of her like even before I joined the YouTube space, like there's certain things that I will because I like to listen to certain people's opinions. Like obviously I get my own opinion first, and if I'm gonna review something, I review it first and get talk. Then I'll see if other people maybe aligned with what I thought. But there's certain properties or certain shows where I'm like, because most
not my lane.
Well, no, not even just that, but most of the prominent YouTubers are white, like straight white men, and there's certain movies or things like or videos or whatever that I don't want to hear. I don't care about white people's opinion. I don't want to know what your opinion is. Lovecraft Country or what's that movie? With Lakeith Stanfield and what's his face from Get Out? Judas and the Black Messiah. Yeah. Like that's certain movie. I'm like, I don't want to know.
When I was with Frankie the other day, we were talking. I was like, "Yo, I just saw a YouTube video. It was like the 10 most powerful black superheroes, and it was a white guy.
It was two white people. I hated that. People,
and it had like 100,000 views. And I'm like, why are you even listening to white people about black people? Like, why are you even doing that?
First of all, not even just that. If you guys don't know what we're talking about, there's this YouTube channel. Well, no, we're not gonna say it because slander. I don't want to get sued.
Nah.
Just because we're talking bad on it, but yeah, there's this.
Come see me.
There's this. Basically, just Google top 10 most powerful black superheroes
on YouTube,
and it's by two white people. And first of all, I'm like, why are they doing it? And then not even just that.
Why are they even saying that? Like, how do you feel comfortable being white and here are the most 10 powerful black superheroes? Like, get the fuck out of here.
But not even just that. But not even just that. But take that aside. Let's say, okay, give it to them. Whatever that's their YouTube channel. Let them talk about whatever they want. Okay, fine. But put that aside. But then when they actually listed the black superheroes that were the most powerful, they listed like Nick Fury as like number 4. I was like, first of all, they listed Storm as number 10 on the list, and they had Nick Fury as more powerful than Storm.
I'm like comics.
Exactly. Like right here. Let me bring Ron. You see that little you don't read comics at the bottom? That video was the epitome of you don't read comics.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, how is Nick Fury more powerful than Storm, bro? Like, they just started naming black folk. They have Falcon as like number 5. I was like, I left a comment on it. I was like, y'all just naming black people at this point. Like, that video was hella trash, and it got like you said, it got like over 100,000 views.
I need y'all to not participate in things like that. Like, when y'all see that, I know y'all want to get on it just to yell, but y'all helping them. You know what I mean? Just this, like, I clicked on it as soon as I saw the white people. I left. I didn't watch it.
But no, I had to. I was like, let me see what this. As soon as I saw, I was like, let me see what this bullshit.
Oh, no.
And then when I saw Nick Fury as number 4, I was like, I was like. You know that meme with that cat that's like on the computer? that was me with that video. I was like, what? But yeah, that video.
They control the means of production. They have all the advertising behind them, and they can just do whatever they want, put it out, and they'll get the most attention.
But yeah, I was like, they didn't even talk about like Miranda from what was the worst X-Men ever.
Yeah, definitely.
They didn't mention Monica Rambeau. How's Nick Fury on the list, but Monica Rambeau's not on the list?
Because they don't know. They just asked some random person to make up a list that doesn't read comics, and they who read even less just said, okay, we're gonna make a video. Like, hire somebody black, please.
Sync wasn't on the list.
Hire a black person.
Yeah, it was like, that video was like hella trash. I don't even know how we got on. Oh, now I remember, because I was like, how we even get on this topic? But yeah, going back to what I was like, yeah, there's certain reviewers, and this is how I came across Sharonda, was like certain things where I'm like, I only want to hear from black people. And so as I was like scrolling through the YouTube search, I happened to come across Sharonda, and I was like, ooh, and a black woman on top of that, which is also very rare in like this whole YouTube space, things like that. So that's how I ended up came across her channel, and I liked her personality. She, cool. she doesn't try to hide who she actually is, and try to like,
and she doesn't lie either. Like, she doesn't tone.
Yeah,
I think the first review I saw of hers was what's that? Because I didn't want to watch it myself because I didn't want to go through all that pain. But Us, the one they had the show for Us, the what's my boy's name from Key and Peele? Key. No, it was it Peele?
Keegan-Michael Key.
Keegan-Michael Key, yeah, like the show he had. I think it was on Amazon for Us. What was the name of it?
You talking about them?
Them, yeah, them. I didn't watch them, but I watched her review for them.
Yeah, no, good. I didn't watch. I was about to. I started watching the first. I don't know we're off. I know we're off topic, guys. We'll get back to it, but I started watching. Yeah, them. I started watching the first 10 minutes of them, and a whole bunch of people hit me up and was like, "Oh, this show's gonna piss you off, especially
episode 5. I can't watch it. Yeah,
especially episode 5. It's gonna trigger you, and it's like it's a hella black porn, black trauma porn." And I was like, "Nope,
you gotta be in a certain space for that. You gotta be in a certain space for that."
I turned it off. I turned it off right after that, so I was like, I couldn't do it. But yeah, I watched her review, and she was just like, it was trash.
Yeah, so, and I respect the hell out of that. It's hard for me to call something black trash. I say it in front of me and you in the closed room, like, yeah, that shit was trash, but I won't say it in front of white people.
Nah, but I mean, if you're on YouTube, you got to be. I mean, you got to be authentic, and it is hard. You don't want to call something black trash, but like,
exactly.
Yeah, but you gotta keep it real. But yeah, shout out to Sharonda and her nails. Yeah, I love. And I sent her a super chat like I love your nails. But yeah, getting back to, I mean, there wasn't really, as you can see, we're getting off topic there because there wasn't much to say about this episode because nothing happened in this episode. Like there were a lot of
Easter, Loki fight. There
were a lot of Easter eggs. So we could talk about the Easter eggs at hominem or at length. Is that at hominem? That's probably not the right word for that.
Hominem.
But yeah, we could talk about the Easter eggs at length. Thor, the boastful Loki, talk about his version of Captain America, him destroying Captain America and Thor, getting an Infinity Stones. But in terms of like this episode really pushing the episode forward, it didn't.
And even like I thought, like I said last episode, I thought that our Loki was gonna become like the leader of Loki's or something like that. But it was just another version of Loki who was like the president Loki from the comics or whatever. And he didn't do much. He got his arm bit off. That was funny, but it didn't progress the story or do anything for it.
Yeah, hold on. I got the picture right here. So all the multiple Lokis where we saw them pulling up. And so yeah, when we saw, because just like the background of this live stream, you see the President Loki standing like this. Yeah, I thought that was our Loki, and maybe he somehow, like you said, became like the leader of all the Lokis and things like that. But no, it just turns out it's just another Loki variant. And this is actually the first time that we've actually seen a variant of Loki being played by Tom Hiddleston, which I find very interesting. I'm just like, if the whole thing about the show is there's no multiverse yet, it's just different variations of the same timeline. How do all the Lokis look so different? Not even just do they look so different.
They're actors. I mean, I think Sylvie is supposed to look like Loki. You know what I mean? But she doesn't because I
get they're actors, but just do different. Like we saw in the first episode, they just had different versions of Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah,
like you had blue Tom Hiddleston, you had Tom Hiddleston like looking like Lance Armstrong. You had a Hulk looking Tom Hiddleston. That's what I thought we were gonna get, not just random actors that we're gonna get nothing from.
What is that, Soviet Loki?
Which one?
Our Loki, the one with the hat. The one with the pilot hat.
You talking about on the
left of Loki, on the left of Tom Hiddleston.
This you talking about this one right here?
No, that's his right. I mean his left, not your left.
This one.
Yeah,
probably. I don't know. But they're all supposed to be Loki. Like who's this guy supposed to be? Rasta Loki?
And the one like right there, does he have limbs? Is it like a Ravager from X-Men? Because he looks like way shorter than everybody else. Like maybe he doesn't have. He's like suited like a Ravager.
Probably, but no. But I'm like, you see this? He kind of looks like. You see this one right here? Like black, look like he dropped dreadlocks.
Oh, like Coolio.
Yeah, like I'm like, what is this? Rasta Loki? But yeah, like I mean, and there were a lot of with this episode. There were a lot of moments that I did enjoy. Yeah, they just said Coolio Loki. Yeah. But yeah, I'm like Gangsta's Paradise just popped into my head.
Now you have to play it for it to get out of your head. Like you have to play that song tonight.
Yeah, I'll play it when I'm at work cleaning if I'm kitchen tonight when I go to work. But yeah, seeing all the Lokis fight and even Loki getting upset, like because every moment it's like, oh, you betrayed me, I betrayed you, now I'm betraying you, and it's like it's just the game. Like Loki constantly betraying each other. And they also referenced it like when Loki was talking to Sylvie, he's like, I betrayed every single person I loved, and I do it constantly. But so I mean that was there we go. So thank you, Aubrey, for correct. Yeah, I said we could talk about it ad hominem. It's ad nauseum. There we go. But this is why my SAT scores were so low. But I still graduated college. But yeah, seeing all the Lokis fight, that was fun. It was fun to watch. But like, what did that do for the story? Nothing. I mean, I guess in the sense of like it showed Loki that something has to change. Like amongst them, even with Kid Loki and Classic Loki, which Kid Loki is a major character. Like Kid Loki is a young Avenger, but I kind of feel like he got glossed over in this episode. We didn't really get much.
I didn't want to say it, but because I don't want to say bad about kids. But he was a horrible actor, in my opinion. The Kid Loki.
Yeah, I felt that. I felt that too.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, he's definitely not going to be in Young Avengers because like this kid he sucks. He sucks.
But yeah, where did Kid Loki go off to? He handed him the blade and disappeared.
And why did he give him the blade? Like that was so weird. It seemed like something out of like a Zelda game. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, he probably went back to his little lair thing.
It was cheesy.
But what is it? Alligator Loki was weird because we didn't have subtitles for him. I would have loved if Alligator Loki had his own language and for all the Lokis to understand. No, I would have preferred if Alligator Loki straight up could talk.
Yeah.
Like, why couldn't he just like it's a freaking Loki like and it's magic and it's a Marvel universe? Like, why couldn't he talk?
My name is
what? So I would have appreciated that. Like just let him talk. It's already weird enough that we're getting the Alligator Loki. So like
it was a Classic Loki was straight though.
Oh no, I like Classic Loki. He was my favorite part of this episode.
Yeah.
And speaking of Classic Loki, like they kind of reference jumping back a little bit, they reference like so Boastful Loki, Alligator Loki, Kid Loki, and Classic Loki. They talked about what made them variants. And Kid Loki said that he became a variant because he killed his version of Thor. Boastful Loki, which ended up being a lie, he said he became a variant because he killed his version of Captain America, he killed his version of Iron Man, and he collected all 6 Infinity Stones.
Which is like too much.
Yeah, but they called him out right after that.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, this kind of pissed off Alligator Loki, but Alligator Loki got mad because he ate his neighbor's cat or whatever. Which I like Alligator Loki, like the fact that he's always ready to pop off. And then Classic Loki mentioned that he basically went through Loki's timeline. He went through Avengers Endgame. He got attacked by Thanos,
and he escaped.
But he escaped. And he created an illusion of himself that was so realistic that Thanos didn't know it wasn't real. And then he like hit on another planet. But what made him a variant is he started to get lonely.
Yeah, and I think Classic Loki is the closest Loki we have to our Loki.
Yes,
and he has all that experience, and then he has all those years of growth as well.
Yes,
and then like the whole part when it's talking spoilers where he like sacrificed himself. And he said glorious purpose, like that was the purpose for Loki in the beginning. Like, he formed the Avengers. He made like his deaths inspired Thor. That Loki was able to do both those things, and then help these two Lokis, accomplish whatever their goal was as well.
Yeah, it was a full circle moment where before his glorious purpose was as a villain, and now he's getting his end as a hero. But basically, he's sacrificing himself for the other Lokis, which is something
might be the best Loki.
Yeah, the way they're teasing it, they're saying Sylvie is the best of us.
Oh, come on. Okay, sure, I'll take it.
But that's what they're saying. Like she's different from us. She's the one that will stop the TVA. She's the because she's the superior Loki, basically, to take a superior Spider-Man reference. Which I wouldn't have a problem with if we actually learned about her. Like we still don't know anything about her.
All I know is she came up through the mud. That's all I know.
Yeah, that's all. All we know. All we know. She grew up on the streets.
Yeah,
and she could throw hands better than our version of Loki.
Yeah.
But they also kind of reference and I mean I guess, but I still don't like it. But like they reference why Loki's not as powerful with like magic and sorcery and things like that because he relied too much on his daggers. Classic Loki mentioned it was like the daggers hampers our magic potential.
Yeah, yes, they're cool and all that, but yeah.
And I'm just like can't do both. Yeah. Like he used magic to summon the daggers. Like
that was false. And then at the end of the episode, since we're getting there, I guess our Loki kind of learned enchantment.
Yeah.
Which is like something he said it was beneath him in the first place, which I think it should have been easy for him to learn, but whatever.
And I mean, I agree with this. I really wanted our Loki to show he mastered enchantment while on the train. Yeah, that would have been
cool. That's a very Loki thing. Like Ben did this, that's a very Loki thing. Like I don't know if the people who aren't in the comics aren't getting that, but like Loki sees himself like higher. Like I think they humbled him too much in the show. He's too far down, in my opinion.
Yeah, but I guess that's I don't know, because I don't know what the direction they're going in this, but I feel like that maybe that's the point. Because I don't.
It's too much.
I don't know if Tom Hiddleston is making it out of this show. Well, maybe, because I don't know if there's a season 2 of the show or not. But I feel like they're using the show to set up her. Even if there is a season 2, I feel like they're setting her up as the new Loki.
Yeah, I understand that, but I'd rather Tom Hiddleston go out like a Loki. You know what I mean? Like I've seen him too. It's okay to see him vulnerable. I think it could have just been written in a different way.
Yeah, like you can still make him a good guy, but still keep his bravado.
Exactly. That's what.
But I mean. Yeah, he's losing his bravado and things like that. So like, I get what you're saying. But with this, because I was just about to bring this up, so thank you, Jessica. But I wanted to see our Loki do some badass magic too. And yeah, for another episode, nothing except him pushing back up a building. Yeah, that was that was episode 3. But going with that, like, because we talked about classic Loki using his magic to recreate Asgard, which goes to like something that they referenced, I believe, episode 2, with like the illusion casting versus illusion projection, whatever they said. So that's a throwback to that. He created a full-on illusion of Asgard.
And even you saying that, sorry to interrupt you, that shows that our Loki has a vast knowledge of magic. Like when he can tell you the difference between this and this, like he has to be proficient in it. He knows it well. But we don't get to see that.
But yeah, but that's kind of what I was gonna get to say. Like when Sylvie was like, "How is he doing this?" and Loki looked at her, he's like, "I think we're more powerful than we realize."
And that was like, cheesy as hell, and that was very un-Loki like.
Not even just that, but I'm like, "But you're a god."
Exactly.
I was about to say the F-bomb. I think we dropped too many F-bombs in there. But I'm like, you're a god. Like, what do you mean you're more powerful than you realize?
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense. And I'm just like, does Marvel hate magic? I feel like Marvel hates magic at this point. And guys, you already know, like I already talked about in the stream and a lot of my YouTube videos, the things I love in my fantasy, blood, sex, gore, magic, which if you want to get some merch from me, you can check out my merch store. Link is in the description below. Whether you want the Black Gay Comic Geek shirt, you want the blood, sex, gore, magic shirt, you want the welcome to my Safe Gayven shirt. If you want to help your boy out, link for that is in the stream below. I appreciate for all of you guys that have bought merch and have sent it to me and everything like that. I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you for help. Thank you for supporting your boy out. But yeah, like I'm like, does Marvel hate me? Because even in the Doctor Strange movie, which is like the magic character, there was no real magic in that movie. Like they were just using magic to create weapons, but it wasn't any actual like spells,
like
incantations. He was more magical in the little bit that we see him in Thor Ragnarok than he was in his own movie. So I'm like, and then even Loki is the god of mischief. His whole thing is sorcery, and we
trickery,
never really sorcery and trickery. We never really seen him use any other than like shape shifting and creating daggers out of nowhere. We never really seen him use magic. Even in this episode, we see him the first time we see him use that magic to like lift a building up, and he was shooting like
fireballs and stuff like that. He was like, "Hadouken!" I'm like, where did that come from?
Kamehameha blast, like green cum shots at the Minutemen. Or no, he was on Lamentus, but I'm like, where was that in the 3? Like, where was that? Like, how is it that we're only just seeing it? And then they're like inconsistent with it. One moment he's doing it, and then the next episode he's not doing it.
Yeah, I think WandaVision was the most magic we've gotten, definitely.
Yeah, I feel like it is, but I'm just like, I feel like Marvel. I don't know. I feel like Marvel hates
after
magic.
WandaVision, so they should know better. Like, are we doing magic or are we not doing magic? Like,
yeah, I feel like they definitely should know better, because even with like Thor, they kind of play fast and loose with the magic. It's like, oh no, you guys call it magic, we call it science. It's like, no,
and exactly. We've never. I understand that Marvel MCU Thor is different, but even Thor like cast spells and stuff like that in the Marvel comics. Like, it's all magic.
Yeah, it's all magic. Like, so give me the magic. Like, I want to see some freaking outlandish magic, and we still haven't really gotten it. Like I say, even in Doctor Strange is the sorcerer supreme, but we never really seen him be we've seen some moments, but not as much as I want.
Hopefully we get there.
I mean, hopefully. I mean, in Multiverse of Madness, hopefully. So, I just lost a spot of where I was. Oh no, I already read that. But yeah, he summoned a blanket for Sylvie, and he kind of did her dirty, where she was like, "Could you give me a new outfit?" And all he did was give her a blanket.
Yeah, I thought he was trying to be smooth.
I mean, he was, because we talked about, like, we think they both kind of love each other.
Mm-hmm.
Self-love, masturbation.
Yeah, that scene definitely was pushing it that way. The blanket cuddling. That's a move. I've done that one.
And I mean, she accepted it. She let
exactly.
Or like the stereotypical thing that you see in movies where you're at the theater, you're just like, you're just like,
exactly.
But why is Loki suddenly underperforming? He was powerful enough to mind control and displace Odin. Why is this a thing? And that's the thing. Like, when it comes to like the power scaling of Loki, they're very inconsistent when it comes to his power level.
Yeah, he's been getting beat up this whole series.
He's been getting washed. he's been getting washed in his like his whole show.
Yeah.
But
by variants of regular people.
Yeah, like the TVA are human. Like, and that's another thing. Like, we've never really seen, like, the TVA are just wearing like Kevlar battle like SWAT gear.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have any type of like magic technology or technology that keeps them from getting hurt, anything like that. They just got the pruning stick and they're wearing SWAT gear. How are they able to take out gods, Kree, vampires? And yet, like, they haven't really shown me anything from the TVA that says, oh, these people are formidable.
Mm-hmm.
These are people that they're nothing to mess with. Nah, they're just regular humans.
TVA ain't nothing to fuck with. TV.
But like, I don't know. The more and more I talk about this show, the more I'm just like, y'all should have showed me more.
Yeah. I didn't think this was gonna happen. We got our expectations up too high, and then.
but it's not like our expectations were too high out of nowhere. The show started, like I said, the first 2 episodes were great, but then it was just like, and it's not to say I'm disliking the show now. Like, I'm still somewhat enjoying. Like I said, take this episode.
This wasn't terrible.
Yeah, this definitely wasn't episode 3. But if this was episode 5 out of 10, I would have liked it more. But considering there's only one more episode left, I'm just like, what are y'all doing?
Nothing.
But yeah, no, I agree, because I mentioned this in episode 3. Like, Sylvie and Loki have no romantic chemistry. It's so forced. Yeah. I can't.
That's the actor.
But yeah, like I feel like the actors, their chemistry is not.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not to say,
maybe it's because, like, personally, like, she's the actress is like breastfeeding the child and all that stuff. Like, she don't have time to be flirting with this man. You know what I mean?
I was like, I don't know what that got to do with. She still got to do a job, but I just don't think the chemistry of Sylvie and Loki is flies off the page or the screen as much as like Mobius and and Loki. So if anybody,
I'm not even shipping, but
So yeah, if he should have fallen in love with anybody, he should have fallen in love with Mobius.
Yeah.
Even with the even when the other Lokis met Mobius, they all love Mobius. Like classic Loki, kid Loki, they were all bonding with Mobius. Sylvie was bonded with Mobius.
You think that Mobius could wind up being a variant of somebody important? Definitely not Loki, but just somebody important. Like, he could be a Thor variant or something.
Nah, I don't think they're gonna do it. Because I think that's us just hoping for too much, and it seems like time and time again we keep thinking, oh, what if they do this? What if they do? And then it just like it's Ralph Boner, Quicksilver all over again.
Yeah, they're never gonna put a ring on it. It's a bad relationship. never gonna put a ring on it.
These Marvel shows, like, we're in an abusive relationship where it's like, oh shit, what, are they gonna do that? Mephisto.
Yeah.
But it's like they're not.
Yeah.
And I'm like, at a certain point, if they don't get it together for these other shows, like, I feel like hype is still high, but if they don't get it together for these other shows, if we
Down,
still, we're still going through the same pattern. Like if we go through the same thing with Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel, which is the next live action show.
Well, I think these 3 shows we expected something from them. Like Hawkeye that comes out, I'm not expecting anything but the story. You know what I mean? I'm not expecting
nothing from Hawkeye. I'm not even expecting to like Hawkeye.
Okay, the Mad Faction Hawkeye is amazing. It's one of the greatest Marvel stories ever. It's in Marvel's top 50 stories. But Marvel made a compendium. But top 50 stories in it.
But comic book Hawkeye is not MCU Hawkeye.
That is true, but maybe he'll become that. And then like Miss Marvel, like I just want Miss Marvel. I'm happy just having Miss Marvel. I don't need something else to come out of that. I don't need
it to lead to anything.
Exactly. I don't need it to lead into
My point is I want it to be good consistently throughout.
Yeah. I think in these shows we were looking for something, you know? Like we were looking for Sam to become Captain America. We got that, but they gave us some other stuff about, you know, just being black. We wanted more of that. We didn't want more, you know, MCU stories and Easter eggs. We didn't want more of that. We just wanted more being black. Like WandaVision definitely like led into more Wanda, so we wanted more of her. You know what I mean? And this show, we expect Loki to not come out of it, and we want multiverse of madness stuff. We want all these other things. We want Kang, even though he's going to pop up in a whole nother movie. We're expecting too much out of this, whereas Hawkeye and Miss Marvel, we're not going to be expecting that.
No, but and going back to the point that you made about like Falcon and Winter Soldier, it's like, I wasn't expecting that to lead to anything.
Exactly.
And yet it's still disappointed in the end because what they gave us, they didn't follow through with the execution wasn't as good as it should have been. So that's my whole point when it comes to like Kamala Khan, Ms. Marvel. Like I'm hoping I'm not expecting it to lead to anything, even though I'm pretty sure it is because they announced that she's going to be in the the Marvels movie with Captain Marvel and Monica Rambeau. So I'm pretty sure they're probably going to tease it to lead to that. But like, I still want the story itself, the self-contained story of Miss Marvel to be good. I don't want like the first 2 episodes. Oh, it's amazing. Then you get to episode 3 and you're just like, oh.
But I mean, we're not expecting a Mephisto to come out of Miss Marvel. You know what I mean? There's no Mephisto. No. There's no Kang. There's no this. There's no that. You know. So I think even with Captain America and then Winter Soldier, we were expecting to get more Isaiah Bradley. We were expecting to get more Patriot. There was something there for us to want more. You know what I mean? And I think with the next 2 shows coming out, I'm not expecting anything extra than this story.
But the only thing is we don't know who they're going to introduce because it seems like every show they're introducing a new character. So we don't know who they're going to introduce in Miss Marvel. Or we know that Yelena Belova, Florence Pugh is slated to show up in Hawkeye, and then also Kate Bishop. So how much of them are we going to get as opposed to Clint? How much of say if they introduce America Chavez and Miss Marvel, I don't think they are, but like how much of that character, like
I think America Chavez is getting introduced in Multiverse of Madness, so
yeah. But I was just naming, I was just an example. But Loki has also been nerfed physically. He's fought side by side with Thor and friends. Not only just that, but he fought Thor in the first Thor movie, and he fought
taking a beating from the Hulk. Like he's getting beat up by regular people, and the Hulk slammed him. You know what I mean? Multiple times.
And he fought Captain America in Avengers Endgame and gave Captain America like a struggle. Like Captain America struggled a little bit, and taking a beating from Hulk and walked away with a few bruises. It's like someone forgot we're dealing with a god. Like they keep. I don't know. Like I said, the power scaling with Loki is all over the place. I was assuming that Loki being a god of mischief, that when he was using his powers for good, his magic is weaker. I may be pushing it though. I mean,
if they had inferred that'd be cool. But that's just an assumption, and it would be a good story. That's you making excuses for the character. They never inferred that.
You're creating a better story than Marvel.
Exactly. If Marvel had said that, then that's like the Juggernaut when he's using his powers for good. He's weaker because Sidorak wants him to do bad.
But my theory is that they're juiced up in some way, but they haven't gone into anyone's backstory. I mean, again, if they would have referenced that, like, or showed, like, as they're putting their armor on or whatever, they're not as good without the arm, like, but they haven't shown anything. Like, they're just regular humans.
You gotta write a story that we don't got.
Yeah, exactly. Y'all being better writers than Marvel right now. Y'all put in, yeah. But I found this episode to be the worst. But it's mostly because of the joke around Sylvie being the only woman variant.
I really didn't like that at all.
But yeah, I didn't. Spoony, I'm not sure if you caught the beginning of the chat, but yeah, we talked about that. But I don't think this episode is the worst. But I think episode 3 is definitely the worst. But I definitely feel like in terms of like pushing the story, this episode didn't really do
anything.
Yeah, it didn't really do anything. It was just mostly the Easter eggs. But I think it's Dr. Doom, the castle lookalike. I don't think they're definitely not introducing Doom.
Yeah, and they're not gonna give us Doom like they're gonna give us Doom in the comics. In the comics, Doom is like everything, everywhere, the beginning of the time, the end of time, Abamala. Like we're definitely not gonna get that kind of Doom.
No, we're not. And yeah, during the hug scene between Loki and Mobius, the "thank you, my friend" line was definitely Marvel saying "no homo," which is funny because they literally just confirmed Loki is bi.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, obviously, like what Kay Herron said, they're not going to go into the fact that Loki's other than that line that they mentioned in episode 3. They're not going to go into Loki's same-sex attraction, which is again trash. Representation equals normalization. Representation equals normalization. I should get that on a shirt too.
Do it.
Representation equals normalization. I'm gonna say it till I'm blue in the face. But yeah,
and then put Loki on the shirt with the. That's another thing. I had with it. Loki being cold in general. He's a fucking frost giant. Why was he cold?
Wait, what? When was he cold?
When they had the blankets. It's cold out
yeah. That is true. I didn't even think about that. That is true.
They fucking up.
Yeah, they fucking up real. I didn't even think about that. They're all frost giants.
Every Loki's a frost giant.
Every Loki's a frost giant. Why are they cold? Fuck this shit. But I didn't even think that's a good point. We should tweet that out.
Yeah, I think the showrunner for Loki is just like, I'm just gonna tell this story without,
But no, that was their moment because they gotta have that blanket moment with the two Lokis getting close. Or maybe they're colder. It's colder than they've ever been. Like it's colder than Ymir. But that's a good. I didn't even think. My mind. I didn't even think about that. That's a good point. But in the comics, Dr. Doom is that big. I love Dr. Doom is like my favorite comic book villain of all time.
He's everybody's favorite comic book villain.
Nah, some people like Joker. Like Joker is some people's favorite comic book villain.
Those people usually don't read comics.
Or like Lex Luthor, but no, yeah, Dr. Doom or Magneto, even though he's not really a villain anymore.
I don't consider Magneto a villain. I never did. So Magneto was right.
No, Magneto's definitely real. No, I feel like this, and this is why I keep saying, like, if black people had powers, we would all be Magneto.
Exactly.
So that's one of the problems that you run into when you get to these superhero shows, especially like ran and run by white people like Marvel and DC, like how they're trying to, how you got like characters like Blue Marvel, how he didn't interfere in the civil rights. It's like, nah.
Blue Marvel is a whole coon. I love the fact that the character exists, but I had no problem with interracial relationships, but the dude married a white woman. Was quiet the whole civil rights movement. Let Martin Luther King get killed. Like, we need a retcon or another story from him. Like, that story needs to be retold
by John Ridley.
yeah, not by Kevin Garreau, the character creator.
Who's another?
Yeah. He got some problems. He loves some white women too.
He definitely got some problems.
yeah.
But that's what I was saying. Going into that whole point of like, superheroes existing in these mostly white spaces and things like that. Like they're trying to not make them radical, but I feel like if in real life you get black people powers, we taking out this whole shit.
Exactly.
This whole shit.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's why they didn't want to do a season 2 of Love. I was gonna make a video about this morning, but I went straight to sleep as soon as I got off work this morning. But I was gonna talk about because Lovecraft Country is the whole reason why my YouTube channel is now being able to be monetized. And they announced that there was going to be no season 2. And I think a huge reason for it is because of the whole changing of the whole social dynamic between black people and white people. How black people got all the magic. We took control of the whole South. We got our whole nation and everything like that. They don't want to see us. They don't want to see us great.
Yeah.
HBO was threatened. And again, this is all speculative, but come on, we know.
Yeah, exactly.
So they don't want to see. They didn't want to.
We had superpowers. We taking more than just reparations. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Like, so we taking parts of the country.
Yeah.
We might not be killing. We might not necessarily kill folk because our whole thing, like black people, like we don't want revenge. We just want our shit and like we just want you to leave us alone. Yeah. And time again, every time we establish our own thing, white people won't leave us. Yeah, they won't leave us alone. Like white people are so quick to be like racist. Oh, go back to Africa. Go back to your own country. Leave us alone. But every time we try to leave y'all alone, y'all keep coming into our spaces.
Yeah, taking our culture. That's why you ain't got no TikTok dances.
Yeah,
right
taking
now.
like the Megan Thee Stallion video.
Yeah.
The song is hands on my hips, but they doing this. Hands on my hips.
I thought it was hands on my knees.
Oh no, hands on my knees. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, you don't know Meg. I love you, Meg. If you watching.
But I was still close. My hands weren't on my hips, but they still doing this. Or they going like, I'm like, what the hell is this?
I don't know, man.
But like, yeah,
it was funny about that though. I'm going on another tangent, but I'm a big Power Rangers fan, and I was watching Power Rangers the other day, and the Pink Ranger had like that white slang. What happened to that white girl slang? Like, oh, this is rad. This is this. So like, they had. I don't want to say they had a culture, but they had something before.
It's not in anymore. Now they got to take off. They got to take
everything is trying to be black now. So I wonder what happens.
If I had Scarlet Witch's powers, I cast all the white folks off. I'd give us.
I wouldn't do that.
I won't even do that. I won't even do that. I'll make us our own.
Krakoa.
Yeah, Krakoa. Like black people, I've been saying for a long time, we need our own Krakoa.
Yeah, and I make them pay for all kinds of every piece of black content they got. They had to pay for. They had to pay for black culture.
Yeah, and give me my reparations. Give me every black person needs to have their house paid for, their first house paid for up to $250,000.
That's not that much money. I live in New York.
What, a house?
Yeah, that's not give me no house where I live. No.
Get out New York City.
Why would I do that? I have so much culture here.
We
built this city.
Go to
why would I go anywhere?
Because New York
right now.
Because New York right now. No, New York's too expensive. Right no, I'm not. New York's too expensive. But that's another thing. Like they need to bring prices down. Because even Jersey's starting to get like Jersey City and things like that.
Expensive.
But yeah, and that's going back to what you said. Like that's the thing too. Like they relegated us to Harlem and all these other places.
And then we built those places up.
Yeah, as soon as we build those places up, Harlem Renaissance and everything like that. Harlem School.
Move out of New York. I'm never moving out of New York.
I only said that because the price, not because the culture. Not because the culture. You talking about it's too expensive.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, like they build up Atlanta, build up Detroit, like all these places, we build them up, and now all of a sudden it's like, oh, they want to come in and let's bring in a Whole Foods and then kick the ends out.
Yeah.
Like
this is a whole nother conversation.
It's a whole nother, but it's a magic conversation. Like that's what going back to mutants. Like, yeah, if black people had mutant powers, we would all be, not all of us, because again, like Candace Owens and things like, but a lot of us would be Magneto. Mm-hmm. So when you look at certain black superheroes, it's like, it's not realistic, but you get it because it's a white owned company at the same time. Like, but I don't know. I don't got nothing else to say about Loki. There was no post credit scene, which is trash. Like this is the penultimate episode, and they didn't even have a post credit.
Didn't respect Sylvie. Trash.
Yeah, Sylvie's the only female Loki, even though Loki's supposed to be gender fluid. Trash.
Yeah, they got a lot of work to do to make us like them episode. The last episode has to be like flames, like crazy good, because they had 2 bad episodes already. One bad, one mad. Like WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier probably had like 2 bad episodes as well. If Loki has 3 bad episodes, like
yeah,
it'd
be a wrap.
Yeah.
Wakanda was quiet as hell.
They explain that in the comics.
Yeah, they explain.
Yeah.
Because they kind of had this mentality of like
us. It's about us, not everybody else.
This is about us, not everybody else. Which is very human. That's a very human reaction.
Yeah.
Because like you got to protect. Because they were the only nation in Africa that wasn't colonized. So it's like,
so if they start taking people in, and then what?
Yeah,
I mean, they should have, but you know, that's like you said, a very human thing to do.
Yeah, they gotta protect their own people. Like, yeah, it might be messed up when you think, but it's also at the same time not, because they're protecting their people. So, yeah.
But then when you realize how much resources they actually have, that they can actually help everybody.
Yeah, they can.
And that's what you saw at the end of Black Panther 1. So.
But I still kind of, because they open it up to the world, not to like Africa and.
I mean, they're probably opening it up to African Americans around the world. You know what I mean? Not the people that come from the diaspora.
Wait, there was a redhead female Loki.
What's that? She ain't getting no burn.
Yeah, because if that was the case, then why'd they say? Hold on, let me pull up that. I think I know who you're talking about. Let me pull up that thing again. Because if that's the case, then why they say they never met a female Loki? Maybe she's not a Loki. Maybe she's okay.
Yeah. So they could also be just variants.
So this person with the rank, like the rainbow hat.
Is that a woman?
Is it? I mean, because I'm looking at all the Lokis. I don't see.
Well, or at least a woman presenting person.
I guess.
I don't
Maybe.
know. I have to watch the episode again.
Yeah, I don't know. But based on the line, they said there was no other female.
Yeah.
There was no other female Loki. So maybe that's just a mistake. I don't know. Or maybe the person isn't female. I don't know. But all I know is I can go by the line. They say that there's never been another female version of Loki. So based on that, yeah, trash. But what is that? I think y'all are generally too negative on the Marvel shows, but I can't defend some of the choices made.
Exactly.
Made it Loki. So no, is it us being negative, or is it just we wanted more based on what they gave us? Because when it's something I love, because even in this review, I talked about a lot of the Easter eggs, and I talked about overall that I did enjoy this episode. I talked about all the things that I liked about this episode, but I said the fact that this episode is the final episode, that's my biggest problem with this episode.
Yeah, and even about how much we get on WandaVision. I love WandaVision. We get on all the time, but I love WandaVision. If the ending saw Wanda get some kind of repercussions, I'd maybe give it a show a 10 out of 10. Like, it was a good show, like, but it still has faults.
So I don't think we're being too negative. Like for the most part, we've talked about like what episode 1, episode 2. We talked about how much we love the show, how much the show started great, like or even episode 4. Yeah. I think part of it is like, and sometimes I come across this too. I think the thing with like film criticism or criticism in general, like if somebody doesn't love something as much as we do, we kind of take it as like a personal attack. We take it like more. Or we lead more into like, oh, y'all are being too negative. It's like, no, like I named a lot of stuff that I liked about this episode, but also at the same time, like I didn't like it as much. It didn't do as much for me. So it's not
anime filler.
Yeah.
For people who watch anime, it's a filler episode.
Pretty much. And for a show that's only 6 episodes, there's no time for filler. Yeah. And especially for the episode before the last episode. Mm-hmm. And for there to be no post-credit scene.
Yeah. It's disgusting, really.
So, but did the white redheaded female Loki have lines though? They got to do better. 2 women out of 15 men and 1 alligator, not enough diversity.
You got a 2-to-1 women to alligator ratio.
Yeah, no,
you got an alligator.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. And I mentioned that before, like I made a TikTok video about this yesterday, but Marvel needs to really do better with how they treat their female characters. Like I mentioned with Black Widow, like this movie was not really about I mean, even though she was in it a lot, but it was mostly to set up Yelena Belova, not.
But that's also another woman, though. So.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, just like you got this one, like the most prominent female Avenger in your superhero team, but yet like you're not really giving her due. And Sharon Carter as the power broker. We had like that was the way they did that. That was trash.
If she's not a Skrull, which she is, if she's not a Skrull, like I'd have to go back and like lower my rating of the show. Like
or even Carly being the villain of Falcon and Winter Soldier. Monica Rambeau shucking and jiving being like the
last episode
with Wanda. Like, oh, you know, first of all, jumping in front of the two kids.
Yeah, and they try to use her blackness to validate Wanda. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Which, she didn't. It'd be one thing if she knew that she'd be able to eat the bullets.
Yeah,
she didn't know she was going to be able to survive
die for these fake ass white kids.
She about to die for these fake white kids that she has no connection to. She's never really even met. I don't even think she's met them. So she's about to put her life on the line for them. And then to go to Wanda, it was like, oh, they'll never know what you sacrificed. Like, get the
they don't know what you sacrificed. Like, get out of here.
Yeah, like, get the fuck out of
here. Yeah, that
huge problem with that.
Destroys the entire show. Like,
yeah, I had a huge problem with that.
Yeah.
So they need to do better with how they treat. And then even like Peggy Carter, like, I feel like they kind of erased her whole thing with.
They gave her Agent Carter and that stuff. I don't know why.
But I feel like they erased a lot of her agency with Steve Rogers going back to the past and erasing her husband and kids and all that timeline.
Well, in my head, she never really had that husband and kids. That was Steve the whole time. In my canon, in my head canon, yes. In my head canon, there are two Steves at Peggy's funeral.
Yes, that's your head canon, but that completely erases what they said in Avengers Endgame.
Does it though?
What you do in the past does not create a new time. It creates an alternate timeline. So if he went back to the past, whatever happened in Captain America Winter Soldier, that does not affect what him going back to him.
Yeah, because he went back and he made sure not to do anything that would affect the future.
But that still doesn't work with the timeline though.
How?
Because they said and technically he did affect the future because he affected Peggy's life.
But he had already done it. He just didn't know yet.
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah, because
because
it would have created a different reality. Because they said
it already created a different reality that's probably reset by the timekeepers.
Shut the fuck. Like the timekeeper should have snatched his ass up when he went to the past.
No. Because his is supposed to happen apparently. So
yeah, it's supposed that's their excuse for everything was supposed to happen. But yeah, even that. They vastly underused Maria Hill. Like even with Secret Invasion that was just recently announced. Maria Hill's not in the cast.
Yeah,
why?
That's disrespectful.
So yeah, Maria Hill's another person that they vastly underuse. Like justice for Maria Hill. But yeah, didn't he create his own branch reality? The exact facts. When he went back to the past, he should have created his own reality. He created based on the rules that Marvel set up. He created his own reality.
Yo, if we're gonna keep having 2-hour lives, I'm gonna have to bring snacks, yo.
but no, we about to end anyway.
I'm hungry.
I'm hungry too, and I also got to start getting ready for work. But yeah, he stayed locked inside. save a cat. TVA's coming. I mean, nah, and that's also another thing. Like Steve Rogers, you mean to tell me he ain't do nothing during the civil rights movement? He ain't do nothing. He ain't do nothing to warn Peggy about Hydra.
Nope.
He ain't do nothing to want try to save Bucky. He knew Bucky was like,
come on. He's like, yo, I saved the world, and I don't really care about nothing else. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like I agree with this. Steve's ending is still trash. Like I wasn't a fan with that.
A lot of people say Steve ended is trash because he left Bucky, but how much does he owe Bucky? You know what I mean? How much what do you want him to do?
But his whole thing was about his whole arc and all.
He already saved Bucky. His whole arc was to save Bucky, and he did it. So what else does he owe Bucky?
He owes Bucky a lot because what was his whole thing in Avengers, like connecting to someone who you have shared experience with. Mm-hmm. Bucky is his childhood best friend, and then not only just that, but he just got Bucky back. He just got Bucky and Sam back. They didn't even have a conversation. He just was like, I'm out.
I think it was really Iron Man dying that showed him, with a family that showed him that he needed to do something for himself finally.
He could have had a family with Bucky.
He could have.
But yeah, like I said, I don't got much else to say about this episode. What would you rate it?
This episode?
Yeah.
6 out of 10. 6 out of 5. 3.2. Yeah. No, not even that. 3 out of 5. 6 out of 10. Yeah.
And my ratings, I would say it broke even, which is
yeah. My ratings are great, so I would give it a C.
So breaking even is like, you didn't make a profit. You didn't. Yeah, it's basically a C. Yeah. Oh damn. 3 out of 10.
I respect that too. I respect that 3 out of 10.
Yeah. No, I respect. I don't get it. But yeah, the biggest problem is how he ignored Peggy's own wish and decided to take away the life she had without her consent. Yeah, she kind of told him like move on. But
like you vaccinated, right, yo?
No, yeah, I'm fully vaccinated.
Yo, maybe like for one of these lives, we gotta just get together for real and like have some cheese and crackers.
I mean, we could. I could. Since you live in New York and you live in Brooklyn, I could like go to work straight from your house or whatever.
Yeah. I could definitely get Frankie to come by, so we could do it. Yeah. How far does what's the name live into Jersey?
Who?
James.
No, he lives in Atlantic City, so that's like
an hour, maybe 15 minutes. He drives though, no? We'll figure it out.
Yeah, I don't know I think he drives, yeah. So maybe we'll figure it out.
Yeah, because I've been eating snacks during these, and I ain't.
I mean, you could bring, but yeah, you don't want to be smacking on the.
Yeah. But if other people are talking while I just get away from the mic and start eating, I'll be good.
But like I said, we about to end right now. But yeah, that's all. That's all I really got to say. But yeah, guys, if you're still watching the live, if you haven't already, if you could hit that thumbs up button, I'd appreciate it. Or if you're watching on the replay, if you made it this far in the replay, if you could hit the thumbs up button. But and
send Mike money for some snacks, yo. Mike be out here working for y'all. He be working.
You notice, because I didn't ask, but I don't, because sometimes I'll be feeling weird. Like, hey guys, if you want to leave a super chat or whatever. Yeah, I don't know. I'll be feeling weird. That's why I didn't even mention it.
I don't need it. I'm balling, so but Mike.
You got like 12 jobs.
Yeah, I work like 12 jobs, so yeah.
But AC, hit the mute button when you snacking.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys. Even though we're about to end, conversation keep going even after the stream is over. So for those of you that maybe watch on the replay, if you want to leave a comment like what did you think about this episode? What does this episode rank in terms of like your favorite episodes of this? I would say for right now, for me, it's episode 1, 2, 4, 5, 3.
4 was fire though. I might go 1, 4, 2, 5, then 3.
There you go. So yeah, leave your rankings in the there you go. Thanks so much, Raheem, for the $9.99 super. Get some snacks. I'm about to go order some Uber Eats right now, right before I get ready to head to work. So yeah, I think I might get some tacos, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, good on y'all. See y'all, everybody, for the finale. But yeah, so guys, join me and Ron next week as we talk about the finale. Hopefully we don't know
which day yet, because I got 4 jobs.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know which day. Every day is Ron's. Last week we were going to do Wednesday. Then he like, oh dang, I got to do something on Wednesday. Maybe on Friday. Then he like, oh dang, I got to do something Friday. What about Thursday? So yeah, if you don't have hit that bell notification button. So when I do post the broadcast or when we go live, you'll get the alert. Because right now I don't know. It could be Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. It could be 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, or 8 o'clock. We don't know, but we'll find out. So Ron, if you want to plug yourself again, maybe
Google me. You don't read comics. Google me. Please just go click on my stuff and listen. I have been working. I know people have been asking me for Amazon on a podcast, so it'll definitely be out this summer. I'll definitely have Mike on.
So there you go. Ron's getting his own podcast. I've been trying to tell him like he needs to do a podcast. Yeah, he needs to do it. He needs to start posting more on TikTok. Like, but he don't be listening.
First of all, I got kids, turtles, dogs, cats, jobs. I be busy, and then like I don't know. But I'm on it now. It's gonna happen soon.
Come on, you gotta get on it. The people want to hear from you.
Yeah.
But also with that, I think I'll Fear Street Part 2 comes out tomorrow, so I'll try to watch that tonight. Maybe depending on how tired I am when I get off of work in the morning, I'll try to see if I'll record.
You might be staying up late for y'all, yo. Like,
yeah, record a review for Fear Street, get that out. So be on the lookout for that. I saw Part 1, but I heard Part 2 was better. But we'll see. So yeah, be on the lookout for that. Yeah, I'll be tired when I be recording a lot of these reviews. Like even like Loki, like trying to get that out like the day of. I'll be staying up like right after work. Yeah, that should be draining sometimes, but I do it for the fun of it, and hopefully this can be that. The point is for this to be my career. So
I want that for you. Positive affirmations. I definitely want that. For you,
positive affirmations, guys. So I can't do it without you. So thank you guys for joining the stream. Raheem, thank you guys. Thank you for leaving the super chat. Thank you for watching. Thank you for hitting the like button. Thank you for buying the merch for those of you that have. Link in the description box below. But yeah, with that, we out. See you next week. And yeah, be on the lookout for the next video to drop.